Broadcast Center. Dave Ricci should be around the corner here.
Hi, Kate.
With 11RI.com.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm going to put my
Brought your
water
own
right there.
water.
I
Thank
sure
you very
did.
much. I'm going to have you put a square foot there, and I appreciate your coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
New business in Rhode Island that I want to talk with you about. Quintessential Rhode Island success story. Grew up in Smithfield, went to LaSalle.
Sure did. Yep. I'm actually a teacher at LaSalle now, history and government teacher.
I hope you tell your students that you were going to be on Go Local Live.
They'll find out when they get back from February break next week, so they'll definitely hear about that. But as far as my company is concerned, we're called 11 Design. It's kind of the latest iteration of our company. We were originally called That Stupid T-Shirt Company. We started off doing T-shirts for college-age kids, high school-age kids, and it just sort of evolved over time to what it is now, which is more of a full-service marketing firm based out of Providence, which I think is important for us to keep in mind as well. We're trying to grow the local economy, as you had mentioned. So
always want to talk with new businesses here in the state. And you said full-service marketing, kind of a niche, kind of a little bit of focus on politics.
Yeah, well, I do teach politics and government at LaSalle along with history. I have an MA in political science as well. So know a lot of folks in the political arena. We have done some work with some of the different campaigns dating all the way back to 2014. That's why we're kind of pitching ourselves as a full service shop. We do not only T-shirts and we've done balloons, pens, mugs, all of that stuff. We've done signs, but we've also filmed commercials and done photography and things like that. We have a very talented group that consists of my brother, my sister. It's a family-run company. My sister's boyfriend as well, and we have some other talented folks that we work with as well. So we can provide any service that people need.
And you were talking about the full service drone footage. Talk to me about this drone video that you've put out that we link for. And
as of coming in to Go Local, the last check, it surpassed 50,000 views on Facebook. We released it last Friday. It's running on Rhode Island PBS. We actually produced it as part of their 50th anniversary celebration. So it's been running. It actually ran in prime time last night, and it's going to be running throughout 2017. So the footage was shot by my brother Chris, who's our drone pilot. It was conceptualized by myself, my sister Nick, my sister's boyfriend who works with us as well, one of our partners. It's just kind of a collaborative effort, and to be completely honest, it surpassed our expectations. I didn't think that we'd have 50,000 views, approaching 1,000 shares in 1 week, and so.
I think we call that viral.
I would call that viral. Yes, I don't know if it's mini viral or viral in general, but it certainly seems that way.
And talk to us. You're talking about from a tourism perspective. The state had a little issue with the first rollout of the tourism campaign. Are you looking to get a piece of if people are watching here?
Sure.
I mean, making a case for local businesses
we've
to get involved in the tourism.
Absolutely, yeah. We've had a lot of positive feedback. The comments on Facebook, emails, things like that. People have suggested, oh, why didn't they hire you and all of that. We would love an opportunity to right that ship. I understand the political pressures behind all of that. Obviously, teaching that subject matter. There's more to it than just hey, hired that company and there's a time, there's a shortage of time in which that video I think was produced. And I think hopefully they'll get it right, whether it's us or whether it's someone else moving forward. The video itself was good. I know there was that little clip in there that was not so good, but the overall production value was fine. But we'd love an opportunity to produce one.
And what else do you want to do in the drone arena? I mean, obviously, there's a curiosity factor and there's a coolness factor, but talk about the practicality factor. I mean, what are the other usages that you see, and what would be your ideal scenario? What places do you want to have drone footage using?
Yeah, well, obviously the tourism stuff. I mean, the cameras right now shoot in 4K, which a lot of TVs aren't even in 4K. So, seeing our drone reel on PBS, it looked fantastic in HD. So it's just a beautiful, look. They used to do footage like that, but with helicopters. So obviously it's way more cost effective to do it this way. You can do technical droning. There's a whole variety of things that you can do in that arena. I know it's becoming popular, so a lot of people are doing it. But yeah, we just hope to grow with that industry. It's a new industry. I think a lot of people, and I would in fact encourage people to get involved because it's a lot of fun. But it just gives you a different perspective on really any location. You know, and our state is beautiful in and of itself, but seeing it from 300 or 400 feet above just gives it a whole new perspective. So,
can you see using drone footage with political campaigns?
Yes, in fact, we have already used drone footage with some of the political campaigns that we've been involved in, and that's actually kind of how we started doing it. We were filming some aerial footage for some campaigns, and then we decided to, you know, go throughout Rhode Island and start shooting some other stuff, and we assembled the reel, and it sort of just took off from there. So that was the original intent, actually. So,
to do it for political purposes.
To do it for political purposes, and you know, those were just some of the accounts that we had at that time. But it's you know, the sky is the limit, no pun intended.
No pun intended.
I did get funniest teacher 2 years in a row, so you know, I have my corny jokes. Of
you
course.
heard it here, LaSalle's funniest teacher,
That's
2 years
correct.
running. Are you the current reigning champion?
I am the reigning champion. Yes, they do a female and a male, so you know, we'll see.
Is there some stand-up, or is this just voted on by the students?
No, it's voted on by the students, and you know, it's just kind of my style in terms of teaching. I like to capture my students' attention and imagination, and you know, sometimes I say some things that they might find a little bit amusing, other times corny. So, but whatever works.
So, what are the discussions in the classroom about politics at the local and national level? What are you hearing, you know, from the youth?
Yeah, that's tough. There's been a lot to talk about this year. Obviously, I think at our school we have supporters on both sides. You have to obviously be careful. You know, there's a lot of folks in the political arena once again who have either gone there themselves, who have, you know, children there. You know, LaSalle is obviously a pretty important school in this state with the people that have come out of it. It's a great school. I attended there as a student myself. And let's just put it this way, it's been a lot of fun, whether, you know, people are, you know, pro the president, anti-president, you know, pro President Obama, anti-President Obama. My goal and my job is to sort of get my kids to critically think. And so, you know, they have, I hope that they feel comfortable to speak their mind. And at the end of the day, hopefully we can at least think about, you know, are there benefits to some of these policies that may or may not be implemented? And, you know, at the end of the day, they come from a different place I do. They have their own point of view. As long as they know why they feel the way that they do with accurate information, then I think that that's the most important thing.
And you are politically involved yourself?
I'm mildly politically involved. I'm from Ward 14 in Providence with Councilman Dave Salvatore. I've been working with him a little bit, and he's a great guy, and you know, I plan on getting a little bit more involved as we go along.
Yeah, so maybe aspirations for...
I think, you know...
You heard it here first, Dave Ricci.
I will let you know if I ever decide to do that.
Yes.
You know, I've spoken to my wife about it. We have a 5-week-old son now.
Oh, goodness. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. You know, going on 6 weeks, and so, you know, maybe something down the road, you know, would be a consideration. You know, it'd be interesting to maybe work behind the scenes possibly as well. So let's put it this way, I'm not ruling it out at any point.
Now you talk about working with Councilman Salvatore. I mean, here we are, heart of the city, looking at the Superman building. What do you see as the most pressing issues with folks that you talk about and, you know, your neighborhoods? You know, what would, if you were running for office, what would a platform be?
There's quite a few that I'm interested in. I think economic development is obviously a huge one. You know, if you have the economic development, and I know the governor's brought some people in, you know, the mayor's brought some people in, which hopefully will spur some of that. I do see a lot of good things coming about, you know, just, you know, a lot of entrepreneurial spirit in the city. So I think the city is on its way up. I would definitely focus on economic development. I think the homelessness issue is a huge issue as well. You know, I know that's been a political talking point over the past several years, in fact. I'd like to see that be addressed. Education, obviously, I care deeply about as well. And to be honest, not surprisingly, but it's not something that I really teach about, but I care, you know, deeply about the environment as well. So there's a number of things that I would consider.
So, you know, as you're considering political offices, really, you know, you're teaching, you've got the company. We're looking at 18. It's not that far away. So is that really sort of a goal? I mean, what if, you know, the average person who's running for the General Assembly, not talking about statewide office, and says, you know, how do we even go about, I mean, what should they be considering in terms of trying to do promotions? And not just your company, but in terms of, you know, if you're in a limited budget, I mean, where should the focus be?
So I think that's a great question. And one of the things that I learned from 2014, and just, you know, being involved in politics and studying it for a while, is I think a lot of people probably waste their money and their time on signage. And I joke with several people that I work with, everyone has red, white, and blue. We understand that we live in the United States and those are the colors of our flag, but if you have 50 different people running for office that all have red, white, and blue signs, then you're not differentiating yourself. I think probably a better approach would be to go to the online marketing, short clips, things like that. You get more bang for your buck, and I think it's more effective.
Do you do signs?
We do.
You offer it.
We offer it. I tend to discourage people from going in that direction. I just don't think that you get your money's worth for that.
I mean, constantly changing media market. I mean, we've done so many stories about where the eyeballs are going, and so much of it is online.
Yep.
So part of what you do help people with their online component to what it is that they're putting out.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a huge component. And like I said, I have my sister, my brother, my sister's boyfriend Nick. We have a great team. We have creative people here. My sister is actually the grant writer at the Providence Public Library, so she knows copy, she knows PR, all of that different stuff. And so yeah, I mean, what we want to do is work with people, somewhat of a consulting role to try to help maximize, what their talents are. I think is the most important thing.
Now, you said you started off, was it the stupid t-shirt?
Yeah, that stupid t-shirt.
That stupid.
Yes. Kind of like that 70s show, but that stupid t-shirt company.
Do you still make stupid t-shirts?
We do, actually. We still have that stupid t-shirt company. I can bring you in several of them if you would like.
Can you give us an example of a stupid t-shirt?
Sure. We have a shirt. Actually, we were on Channel 10 when we had that iteration of the company, and we were interviewed, and so they featured the "I'd rather not get struck by lightning" shirt. On Thursday night, I think it was 6 o'clock news.
I'd rather not
get struck by lightning. It's a little stick figure guy with a lightning bolt going down. It just says, I'd rather not get struck by lightning. We also have, let's see, I'm trying to think of some of the other. Outer Space is Terrifying, which actually has a little, what's the game? Space Aliens? I don't even know what the name of the game is now. But
things that fall down?
Yeah, Space Invaders.
Space Invaders, yes.
I think they have that at Shelter Arcade Bar, in fact. But that shirt glows in the dark. In the dark game. And so those are just two of them. I think we ended up having about 20 or so shirts. But those were actually pretty successful. We used to at the WBRU Summer Conference. But we just didn't have the infrastructure in place to make that sustainable. We still do a little bit of it.
A little bit of a labor of love.
Yeah, but we've moved on. I guess we've matured a bit in our endeavors.
Moved from that stupid t-shirt company to doing drone reels of you featured at RIPBS.
That is correct.
Looking to get more politically involved, folks who are interested, and again, starting up a new business. And I just want to kind of finish up with this.
Sure.
People always talk about the red tape and what you've gone through. I mean, starting up a business, what have you found to be the biggest challenges, but also maybe something that have been surprising things that you might not have thought, oh, wow, this was easier than I thought?
Yeah, well, starting a business is easier than I thought. As far as the filings are concerned, articles of incorporation, that is way easier than I ever thought. As far as, obviously raising capital is critical. There's a lot of different ways you can go about doing that. Sometimes it's difficult, sometimes it's not. Obviously, connections do help. I mean, let's be honest. So I think that for a person looking to start a company that doesn't have the investment capital that they need, it is difficult. Because are you going to charge it on a credit card? Are you going to take out a loan? What are you going to do? And then the biggest component is just having opportunity. Because I think there are a lot of talented people out there. Getting back to the tourism thing, whether it's us or whether it's another company that is given that opportunity, there's a lot of talent, and sometimes you just need, to get your foot through the door, to show people what you can do. And hopefully we've done that with our drone reel. I think that we have, but we'll kind of see what happens.
So a lot of emphasis, obviously, during this administration under Governor Raimondo has been, big companies, bringing in large companies, developing 195. Small business, what would you say would be the thing that would be the game changer for you to make things grow? You talk about capital, incentives from the state, or just in general, or tax structure. What would make you say, oh, this is going to be a game changer for my business?
Yeah, I think, like I said, the ability to, I think a lot of companies don't know where to go for, investors and things like that. That do offer those services, which we've taken advantage of a little bit. But it would certainly be helpful. Opportunities here. Gets a contract, a pretty decent one, angle to it, and you're going to go with people that that's sure. But I do think that there is an opportunity here to make that tourism campaign right, and maybe look within this, which I know a lot of people have lobbied for. But I just think from a business standpoint, as a business owner, and also from a student of politics, that's probably the right play for whoever wants to take advantage of that.
Okay, well, I appreciate your coming in today to
Appreciate
talk
you
about
having me.
all of this. So we do ask folks, now I didn't ask Russ Moore because he comes in here every week to talk about his hot or not column.
Sure.
We do have these trivia cards.
Oh, right.
And it's this game called, it's Rhode Island Trivia. No,
Mhm.
Day trip, not road trip. And so, I mean, I ask folks if they want to take one, just kind of a little test. You're a Rhode Islander.
Uh-oh.
You've been around.
Sure.
You want to pick a card, any card?
Yeah, I'll go in the middle somewhere.
Okay.
It's usually good for
Right in the middle. Okay.
Oops, I'm not supposed to
Oh,
look
I'm
at
not
it.
supposed to look
I didn't see the
here.
answer.
Cheater.
I'll tell you, I don't know how many cards are in here, but I've used this card before.
Okay, yeah. Pick
Granted, we've had over 50 guests. Half of those have been on the
You want
lifestyle
me to
side.
pick
of
another
things.
one?
Nope,
No.
not at all. Let's see if you can get this one.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Can you name 2 of the 3 towns that make up Charahoe?
Charlestown, Richmond.
Okay, and third one for the.
Charlestown, Richmond, and Charahoe, Hopkinton.
Oh, okay. You get the grand
See,
prize
I'm
here.
legit.
But no, and when we had Governor Raimondo on, we asked her which government building has a cannon in the lobby with a cannonball stuck since misfiring during the Battle of Gettysburg, and she got it because it's the State House.
Okay. Well, yes.
You
And
went-
I think more importantly, she went to LaSalle, so.
Oh, okay. It's of course you're going to know all the trivia if you went to
That's
LaSalle.
right.
If you go to LaSalle, you know everything.
You know everything, that's right.
Dave Ricci, teacher at LaSalle, business entrepreneur, here to talk about the new company. Again, we'll have the drone footage on Go Local for you to check out. But again, wanted to talk with a new business getting off the ground here in Rhode Island with a little bit of a political focus.
A little bit, yeah.
So I'm sure we'll see
Can't help
things.
myself.
We'll see things coming out from you with campaigns, I'm sure.